Hi, I'm Linda.
And I'm Troy, and we are Wines, Pines, and Canines. We are currently sitting in our GeoPro 19 FBS couples camper. And if there's one thing you know about small campers, it's that space is at a premium. So any accessory you buy needs to definitely be worth the money.
Now, I love to shop Ikea for those great budget-friendly RV accessories.
And I prefer to shop Harbor Freight for all the tools and supplies to help keep this camper on the road.
Wait, Ikea has tools.
Those are not tools, those are toys.
Okay, fine. We disagree. So that's why we recently did a challenge. Each of us have $100 to spend at our favorite stores, and then you guys get to decide who gets the bigger bang for the buck.
Alright, so this is how this thing is going to work. We have $100 to spend, not including sales tax, and we can be $1 north or south, plus or minus.
And because we like to use recommend products that we have used, we can include products that we have purchased in the past, but they still have to be available and we have to count them at current prices. Now, I'm going to go first, and we're each going to have about 2 minutes to show you around our favorite stores.
Then we're going to show you everything we purchased, how much we paid for it, and most importantly, how we utilize these things.
Now, the best part is you guys get to decide who wins by leaving it down in the comments.
So I will concede that IKEA is a wonderful store with a great escalator and Swedish meatballs, and that's always awesome. But at the end of the day, in my opinion, Harbor Freight has the advantage because it has all the things campers need to get their camp set up and on the road. Now when you think Harbor Freight, you will likely think of inexpensive tools. And it's true, it is a great place to set up a second bag for the camper of screwdrivers, sockets, wrenches, multi-packs of fasteners, and more. But it's also a great place to shop for camping supplies. Items like towing, automotive lights, levels, outside cleaning supplies, as well as lubricants can all be found at a reasonable price and in one place. And anyone with a camper has to be prepared for emergencies. It's always good to have a tarp, ratcheting straps, and bungees with you. In our travels, we have seen more than one camper that needed an emergency repair to their awnings or roofs. And don't overlook the Predator line of generators that are sold there. We've heard many great things about them, But the best thing about shopping at Harbor Freight over shopping online is you will likely find something you didn't even know you needed. And I'm no exception. So stick around for item number 11 as I demonstrate my newest gadget.
So what did I get for my $100? Well, let's get started. Now, just so you know, it is Ikea. They like to name everything some Swedish names, and I don't want to try to pronounce them. So I'm going to run a list here across the bottom that tells you the name and the price that I paid. So the first thing are these cutlery. Now this comes in a set of 20. Now we've had these about a little over 4 years and we love them. They are heavy and we often joke that these butter knives can be used as steak knives. Those were $12.99. So if you have cutlery, you gotta have something to put them in. We bought this along with the cutlery about 4 years ago. It's held up great, $3.49. So if you're at Ikea, got to finish setting up your kitchen. So we've talked about the cutlery. Next, let's talk about utensils. Here I have a set of 3 with the spatula and the spoons. This was $4.99. They do have ones that are a little bit cheaper, some that are a little bit more expensive. I picked the middle of the road. And the other thing, we have 2 of these. Actually had them in some of the other videos. So this we have been using for about 4 years as well. It has held up great. This one, $2.99. Okay, next, cutting boards. These plastic cutting boards are fantastic. I already have a set, but these things are so cheap, I went ahead and picked up another. These, for the 2, $1.49. And talk about cheap plastic storage containers. This is a set of 3 for 99 cents. Still in the kitchen. This is my kitchen sink colander. It just hangs in the sink, and this is a little container that kind of sits inside here so I can wash up vegetables or fruit, put them in here, and everything just sits really nice in the sink. So let's continue to talk storage because it is Ikea. Now these are the Ikea 365 line. They have smaller, they have larger. I'm picking the middle. I do own all 3. What I like about them is all the lids are interchangeable. So no matter what size I have, the lid will snap on and it is really secure. But there's also some other accessories that I really like. Now these 2 containers with the lids, I'm going to price them out at $7.98. So talking about accessories, what I really love are these little shelf clips. They slide onto the shelf and then the little containers can hang from them and they kind of make them drawers. I love them inside this pantry. These were $3 for the 2. And the last accessory for these containers that I absolutely love, that is this. It is an ice pack. So if you have one of these in the fridge and you're going out for lunch and you want to pack it, you just snap on this ice pack. It has different size holes, so it can work with the smaller or this medium one. Absolutely love these. These 2 ice packs, $3.98. So we're done with the kitchen. We're moving on into the bathroom. Now the first thing is something I recently bought. I just love. It's this little guy. So you actually extend out the arms. He's a little octopus. We've got little eyes. And I hang them from my shower rod, and I can hang things like washcloths, dishcloths, socks, underwear, things like that that you just don't want to run to the laundry for, but you want to go ahead and, you know, wash them up and let them dry. This thing works great. He folds up really easy, and I just pop him in one of my footstools. The next thing on the bathroom list are these storage containers. Once again, I've had these for about 4 years. They have held up fantastic, and honestly, we have gone down some bumpy roads in the past, and these things have actually come flying out of the cabinets and are still fine. They were $6.99 for a set of 3. More kitchen storage. Now these containers I put in the bottom of my big drawer in the kitchen. The great thing about Ikea is that they have different sizes that can fit different drawers. So these 2 here, I could have actually put 3, but only bought 2 that day. So the 2 of them were $7.98. Now I had Troy install little wooden rails, and then I put these 2 plastic containers on top of them, and they just slide back and forth over them. Those 2 were $2.78. Next on the list, these storage cubes. Now, I've had this one for about 4 years and it has held up great. They do collapse down, and I put them behind the sofa for storage. I just bought a second one. And if you watched our video of breakdown tips to where you can kind of empty out the camper quicker to get home, these are what I use to, throw any food or dishes or anything I want to take back to the house. They hold a lot, and they are a little bit bigger than the ones that you normally get at like Walmart or Target. These are 13 by 13 by 15. Now they are $9.99 each, so the two of them cost me $19.98. But I really think they're worth the $9.99. Like I said, this one has been 4 years and it still works perfectly. Now IKEA does have other ones starting at $3.99 for about the same size. So we are down to my last two items. Now this, I'm hoping, solves one of the problems that a lot of these campers have, and that is putting a fitted sheet on these mattresses. Are mattress straps, $4.99. I'm going to have Troy go ahead and demonstrate. Now, the one thing is we have a topper on our bed, so my thinking is to go ahead and just put that sheet on the topper and use these to keep them nice and tight. That way it's easy to pull off, put back on, because I always have a quilt or a comforter that would cover that original mattress anyway. And the last item on my list, and this is $1.49. And when Troy says IKEA doesn't do tools, measuring tape. Okay guys, that gets to me to $100.08. Now it's Troy's turn.
I know Linda's thinking she has this thing sewed up with her big IKEA show, but I just got back from Harbor Freight and I'm 100% confident that I have this thing well in hand. In choosing Harbor Freight, it's important to keep in perspective that people think of tools when you think about Harbor Freight. They've actually got a lot more things going on, and I'm going to kick it off with my first couple items that aren't tools, but nevertheless, items every camper should have. Number one, T-Rex waterproof tape. For $11.99, it's a heck of a thing to keep in the camper because it will seal a holding tank if you get road debris. It will seal the roof if you get a limb that comes down after a storm. I've yet to have to use this product, but I own an RV. It's just a matter of time. Item number two, white lithium grease. For $6.99, a must-have for every camper. I use it a lot on the hitch ball and around the hitch products. It's good for a lot of different things, and you'll probably use it more than you realize. Item number three, tread tape from Harbor Freight. For $10.99, versatile product, a lot of great uses. We put some originally on our Anderson levelers to help the tire grab, and it's starting to wear off. So I'm going to go ahead and apply this wider pattern on this, and it should help a lot. I'm probably going to follow right up immediately with putting it on my steps going up into the camper, especially that bottom step, and I'm probably going to lay some across all the little rungs of my ladder going up on top of the camper. $10.99, you gotta love it. Item number four is $11.99 super value, half-inch drive breaker bar. This you should always have in the camper if you have to change a tire. Item number five for $24.99, a half-inch drive torque wrench. Super value. When you go to torque up all the nuts to make sure they're good and tight before you go on a trip, this is the best option I could have possibly found, and it comes with a blow molded case. Great value for $24.99. This is a lot of fun for $7.99. Camp hatchet. Normally you're going to use this for trimming up wood and making your campfire an integral part of a good camping experience. You can also use it to, hopefully you won't need it, but you might have to take wood and cut wood off the roof of your camper if you come into a high wind situation. So that's another thing it does very well. And not to mention, it's probably useful if you had to experience a zombie apocalypse. Or number seven is probably my favorite. For $6.99, I use this tool all the time, a digital multimeter. Obviously you can check the voltage in your batteries, both in your truck and your camper. That's automatic, but it also helps you diagnose problems that may arise inside the camper with light switches, receptacles. And you can also use it to test the voltage on your solar on the roof. Highly recommend number seven. Item number eight is $6.99. 2-foot level. You should always have one in your camper at all times. We have a Level Mate Pro, but we always have a 2-foot level like this on site. just as a backup. Now, we didn't talk about this, but my option has one thing that Linda's does not. It has the ability to use online and coupons that you get in the circulars in the mail. I used it to save 20% off my torque wrench, and in doing so was able to get some microfiber cloths and a locking pin. The cloths were $3, the hitch was $3.49, just as an extra. Item number 11 is $9.99. It's a fluid transfer pump. You use an electric or battery powered drill to transfer fluids from a supply canister. We have clean water in this container, and we're going to spray it directly into our holding tank on the camper and refill our camper. As you can see, it isn't always practical, but perhaps you've got a large container and for whatever reason you can use a battery powered drill to transfer this water relatively quickly from the holding tank right into your camper. There you go, 11 items at $100.39. Well, that's a wrap.
So leave down in the comments who you think got the bigger bang for their buck.
Harbor Freight,
IKEA. But no matter who wins, thank goodness college football is back.